This is the very first video. If you've clicked onto it today, thank you so much. I'm guessing you might have some interest in chess. I am not a good player or anything by any means, but it's something that has interested me for a while, and I thought it would be fun to share my thoughts as we play a puzzle rush. So without further ado, let's dive into the puzzles for today. So this is our very first puzzle. Of course, you can see the knight is not able to defend against this back rank mate. So it took the bait, and now we can simply take the rook. You can see here for puzzle number 2, it seems like the moment the rook moves away, we'll have a nice discovered attack on the queen. So where can the rook give a check? Exactly, that's correct. And now, free queen. The knight moved away from the defense of the h2 square. Here's our powerful queen, ready to launch her sniper attack on the enemy king. Sometimes puzzles are strange because, if anything, black should not be moving the one defender away from back rank mate. But I suppose that's 297 elo puzzle. A nice warm up. This white bishop is seeing the squares, the only 2 squares that the king can run to, and which piece can deliver a check. Very good. There's a scary attack on our king. There's a mate threat here, but it seems like we can create our own on c2. The queen is defending the rook, so although there's no mate on, the knight is also defending the rook. So although there is no mate on e2, we can deliver a mate on g1, closing off all of the escape squares for the king. And it has nowhere to run. In this case, the king has no defenders for this mate right here. We have this nicely aligned attack on the f7 square. I like these puzzles back rank mate. Now, we again are down material. There's a rook defending here, and we need to deliver a check with our queen. The only possible square, f7, and that cuts off the diagonals. There's a scary incoming back rank mate here with these two rooks staring down at our singular rook. But we can create our own check that cannot be defended right here on g3. At first glance, I think, oh, that's a juicy mate square right there. But as you can see, there is a defender. Instead, we can come here to d1. This pattern is quite common in the chess puzzles. We use the queen to first create a check here, but it's not mate because the king can move in. And we don't take because it's defended by the white queen. Instead, it's a lovely sacrifice. And now we can deliver. Rook takes f1, checkmate. The white, we are the white rook. We are very close. This king is not in the box. This king is not in the box of the white pawn. So that means we can promote it without any problems. As Gotham Chess likes to say, look for checks, captures, and attacks. Currently, the only check that I see is this one, where the bishop defends the f2 square for the rook. So let's try that first. Oh, I guess that was the puzzle. Here, the queen is pinning this bishop, and it has no defenders. No defenders. So we can simply take. It looks like there's nothing but this pawn has only one defender, who is now defending from inevitable mate, which means we can take. No. Oh, we're pinned. No. No. So we can first give a check, and now, same as before, we need to attack the one defender of the king, which is this black bishop. But before that, it's good to check for our opponent's threats. Can black give any checks with this queen? Nope. There are no checks. The king is perfectly safe. If the queen wanted to do a desperado, the king would simply take back. And there's not much, really, that black can do to bully this king. We are also not promoting anytime soon, so that means we can now target the defender. The desperado is here. We simply take, and that's that. There's a juicy square here, the F2 square. And it looks like this king is very weak. So even though there's this really nice threat on our queen, we have a bigger threat on the F2 square. And our queen is making sure that this king has no escape. So the move must be bishop g2, f2, check, and checkmate. Even though they're up material and close to promotion with this c-pawn, we have this beautiful vision on this protected square right in front of the king, where we can deliver checkmate. I can see this beautiful mate square right here, but unfortunately, we are in check, so we should definitely move out of the way. But which way? Okay, if we moved either to the side, I don't like that eventually we may have to trade queens, so it doesn't look very good. Now, I would say it's between these two squares, but if we come here, then there's this check, which puts a thorn in our checkmate plan. It seems like the safe square would instead be here. If the queen comes here, our queen would simply capture. So let's try it. Oh, interesting. I think we stick to our plan. We move. It's really nice that this pawn is protected by my queen. I wish my chess games would be so well coordinated. Oh. Oops. Oh well. Okay. They're getting more complicated. So at first, my first instinct would be to deliver this knight g6 check, but then Except there's a complication because the mate doesn't happen immediately. So instead, it must be something different. We need to find a forcing move, because if not, we will hang mate in one. So the only forcing move, well, we have two, but the only good one is, of course, queen takes f1, check. And we don't use this rook because it would just be taken. But we can use this rook, as the e file is defended by the rook, and the king has no other defenders. Checkmate. It looks like we would have this juicy e2 checkmate, but we have a defender. This looks juicy too, but there is also a defender. This has a defender, so our only viable option is queen to g3, delivering mate. Oh, queen to g3 and then king here. King here first, but then the king would run away. So perhaps there's something I'm missing. Maybe we need to get our rook involved. I think we have to give this check first. Okay. Now we have more options. We can deliver this safe check, forcing the king this way or that way. But that would look right. Oh, I don't see why they don't just come this way, but we must take that. Now, we can't deliver a check anywhere else except for with this rook. Which would then lead to the queen coming over to support the checkmate. That's nice. Okay, this looks dangerous. White has a pawn ready to promote, and we don't have any obvious checkmates this side, but we do have a check on this side. Okay, so after the rook comes here, the king is forced to move to the side. We can give a bishop check. Okay, so we can give a bishop check, in which case the king will have to move over to e1, and then these would be defended by the king, and the rook can deliver the final checkmate. That looks good. Let's do it. Okay. Bam. Okay, so the queen is under attack, but it's okay. This knight, if the rook moves to give a check, this knight would be taken. If the knight moves to give a check, well, it would just be taken. This check is not viable. So, white is also threatening this c8 check, which is pretty scary. Perhaps we first ignore the threat, because after queen takes bishop and this check and the king moves, it's not like the queen was tricky.